Hello, this is Kate, the Daily Tarot Girl, and in this video I'm going to be unboxing the Tarot for the Great Outdoors. This is a deck by J.Q. Gordon and the artwork is by Sharisse Steber. So I will say that I received this deck in the mail for free in exchange for doing a review. And I'm so excited to unbox this deck for you. So I should admit, well, first of all, let's look at the box. The box is really, really pretty. I love the way this box looks. And I should be honest with you, I've already unboxed this deck myself and had a look at these cards. So this isn't my first time ever looking at this deck. But I'm excited to do a little walkthrough of this deck and show you every single card. So this is what the backs of the cards look like. So really enchanting, like just lovely. I love that purple color. Now the deck comes with a little white book, so a little guidebook with the typical kind of info. In the little white book, there's a little explanation, a description of each card, and there's a little more info in the back. And then it comes with 3 extra cards, which have a little bit of info about the minor. It's a minor arcana, court card keywords, Celtic cross spread, and then a little bit about each suit. So that I think will be helpful, especially for beginners. Okay, so let's do a walkthrough of this deck. So I guess before I get into the walkthrough, I'll talk about some other things like the size of the cards, the cardstock. So size is a fairly standard size, but I find it's like a nice, I have smaller hands, it's kind of a nice size for my hands. Cardstock is very flimsy. It is quite thin. And I find when cardstock is thin, it's easier to shuffle the cards. I have a hard time when the cardstock is really thick and good quality. It's really hard to shuffle. So that's the trade-off, I guess. But the cardstock is quite thin, but the finish is lovely. It's kind of a matte sort of finish. So the finish is quite nice. All right. So we'll start with the major arcana. So we're starting with the Fool. So right away, oh, and I don't know if you can see what's written at the bottom of the card. It says Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So each major arcana card is a picture of an actual place, and it says kind of what that place is at the bottom of the card. So right away, I'm loving how colorful these cards are, how bright and just uplifting the artwork is. Really beautiful. That's one thing I really look for actually in a tarot deck, is just like really bright colors and just a nice mood overall. See, that's really pretty. And this deck is a little bit different. Like I've noticed, and I'll point it out when we get to it, but I've noticed especially some of the minor arcana cards sort of, they don't always stick exactly to the Rider-Waite type symbolism, which is fine. But I'll talk a little bit more about that. Oh, that's pretty. I really like this Hermit. A really nice Northern Lights. This is a very, what I would call like an atmospheric deck. Like I really get a good sense of like the energy and the vibe of these cards just by gazing at them. This one kind of had me confused. So this is for Justice. And maybe I'll have to contemplate this one because I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how this relates to Justice, so I'll have to sit and contemplate. Hanged Man. This is kind of interesting because here we have the Hanged Man. He's hanging from a tree, and just like the Hanged Man in like say the Rider-Waite version, he's comfortable where he is. Temperance. See, this actually kind of almost reminds me of the Hermit a little bit. This is interesting. This is the Devil. Carlsbad Caverns National Park. You know what's interesting about this card? I always say with the Devil that when the Devil comes up in a reading, it's because we need to pay attention to and kind of shine a light on and be more aware of the things that are keeping us stuck and powerless. And here we have people with headlamps and they're like literally shining a light on something that prior to them shining that light would have been hidden in the darkness. So I kind of like that. That's really interesting. It's like bringing more awareness to something. Love this one. I often look to see how the star is depicted in tarot decks because it's one of my favorite cards. And the moon. This is really gorgeous, really stunning. Okay, so we're into the Minor Arcana, and we're starting with the Suit of Pentacles, which in this deck is renamed the Suit of Stones. I really like all the different, there's a few different depictions of camping, and as someone who loves the outdoors and I love camping, I really liked that about this deck. I don't think I have any other tarot decks, despite having a lot of tarot decks, I don't think I have any other tarot decks that show camping, so that's kind of cool. So here's one card that kind of, maybe I have to sit with this one a little more. So Five of Stones. I often think Five of Pentacles would be kind of about feeling a sense of poverty or not having enough. And maybe these people live in their tent. I don't know. I never thought of it that way, but I'm not sure how this, I feel like this is feels like a really happy, fun card. So I'm not sure how it relates to the Five of Stones, but I might have to meditate on it a little bit. Six of Stones. Okay, so we're into the court cards. So here we have the Page of Stones. Oh yeah, okay, so Queen of Stones as a teacher, I like that. And this is beautiful. This is a really beautiful card. Okay, so now we're into the Suit of Swords, also has been renamed Suit of Blades. See, here's another one. I'm like, Three of Blades. See, in the Rider-Waite, this is a heart with swords through it. So this is a very somber, kind of sad card in a way. But in this deck, it's like super happy. So it's interesting how the deck creator has chosen to kind of what's the word? do something a little different with some of the cards. So that's interesting. I'd love to know what the thoughts are behind some of these cards. Okay, 9 of Blades, 10 of Blades. Yeah, see, 10 of Swords is normally kind of a depressing card, but here it's like, yeah, we're finished. So it's kind of interesting. So this deck does, it's very different, I think, in some ways. Some of the cards are very different from like the traditional symbolism that you're used to seeing. So just kind of keeping that in mind. Okay, Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords, okay, so we're into the Suit of Cups, which is called Vessels. Three of Cups. Oh, I love this card. This was one of the first cards I saw in this deck when I looked online. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this deck. And please feel free to share your thoughts with me below and what you think of this deck. Can you see yourself reading with this deck? I can definitely see myself reading with this deck. I like that the people on these cards feel very relatable. The scenes feel delicious. Like I just want to step through these cards and jump into some of these scenes. It's so bright and beautiful and uplifting. So I really enjoy this deck. I enjoy kind of the outdoor sort of nature theme that's going on here. So yeah, this is definitely a deck that I would read with, and I'll do a little demo reading at the end just to kind of show you how this deck reads. I'll do a little deck interview. Okay, so here we are into the Suit of Wands. Here it's renamed Styx. This is another one that's beautiful. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Hermit too. 4 of Sticks, so 4 of Wands. Nine of Sticks, 10 of Sticks. Again, 10 of Sticks, very different from how I'm used to. I just want to show you my cat. She like just jumped up here. She's right up on that ledge. Hi, Merlina. All right. She likes to look down on people. So yeah, 10 of Sticks, very different. Normally, this is like someone lugging a big pile of sticks up a hill, and it usually symbolizes like feeling stressed and overburdened, but this is a fun feeling, 10 of Sticks. This does not feel stressful or burdensome, unless you find socializing to be burdensome, I guess. Okay, so we have the Page of Sticks, Knight of Sticks, and King. Okay, so that is the end. So I'm going to give these cards a shuffle, and then I'm going to do a quick little interview with this deck. All right, so I gave my cards a really nice shuffle, and now we're going to do like a little interview. I love doing this when I get a new deck. So I'm going to start by asking the Tarot for the Great Outdoors, what kind of a deck are you? Like what kinds of things do you like to read about? What kinds of things do you like to be asked about? Okay, and we have the 10 of Vessels. I'm just going to bring that in a little bit closer. Okay, 10 of Vessels, so that's AKA the 10 of Cups. So 10 of Vessels, 10 of Cups, I associate that with dreams and visions and like dreams coming true. And I almost think of 10 of Vessels as being almost a fantasy card. Like, what does your ideal life look like? Like, that is kind of the realm of the 10 of Cups. And then there's also like family and friendship is also kind of tied in with this card. And it's really like a warm, fuzzy kind of card about feeling emotionally fulfilled. Like all your dreams are coming true, but it's not just materialistic dreams. It's dreams of like emotional fulfillment. It's about how you feel. Okay, so all of that, let's bring it back to what we asked this card. So we asked, what kinds of questions do you like to be asked about? I think that this deck loves being asked questions about how to make your dreams come true. And if you're wanting more emotional fulfillment in your life, if you're wanting to feel a certain way, if you're wanting more friendship or more of a sense of belonging, or in this card, there's like, everyone's like relaxing and chilling. So if you're wanting your life to be at a more kind of relaxed pace and you want to figure out how to do that, then this deck loves answering those kinds of questions. So I like that. Okay, so let's put this card just to the side and we'll ask another question. So I'm going to ask these cards, what do you look for in a tarot reader? What qualities do you look for in a reader? And the card we got here is the Star. Ooh, I love this card. All right. So the Star. All right, so the Star is, it's hard for me not to imagine the Rider-Waite card whenever I look at other decks. I always like compare. So I'm thinking of the naked woman in the Star in that deck and her dumping out the 2 vessels. And I'm also looking at the imagery here. We have this beautiful nature imagery. It's nighttime. We see the stars. So there is this real message of letting go with the Star. And it's that feeling you get when you step outside and you look up at the night sky and you see all the stars, and there's something profoundly relaxing, almost like a relief with that. It's like, oh, the universe is so big and I'm so small. And sometimes that can bring on a feeling of anxiety, but most of the time for me, I feel like it's like, oh, I don't think my problems are really that important. Like I can just kind of relax, like, and not take things so seriously. So it helps me let go of things when I look up and I see all the stars in the sky. And the Star is about letting go and trusting and feeling a sense of connection to all that is, to the universe, to life, to all the energy out there, feeling connected to it, not disconnected to it, and being able to just let go and trust that even if things don't make sense in the moment, everything has a certain rhythm, everything is unfolding in the way that it needs to, And the message I get with this card is that this is the kinds of traits that this deck looks for in a reader. So if you're doing a reading with this deck, just kind of letting go, relaxing, not taking things too seriously, those are really going to help you read the cards. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, I'm not sure what question I'm going to ask now. Let's give this deck a bit of a shuffle. Let's ask, what's one card that really sums up the personality of this deck? Because I feel every deck has a particular kind of personality, and I kind of get a sense for this deck's personality just by looking at the cards, but I want to know one card that kind of sums up the personality. Ooh, I'm getting chills. These are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cards. Okay, so here we have the Hermit. So this is the card that sums up the personality of this deck. And as I look at this card, it just feels calming. It feels so incredibly serene, and actually very similar to that feeling I get when I look at the Star card as well. This sense of connection with all that is, this sense of like spiritual connection. So really beautiful card here. So yeah, I feel like the personality of this deck is definitely one of wisdom, because the Hermit is all about wisdom, and particularly spiritual wisdom, and feeling that sense of spiritual connection with all that is. And there is this calmness, this serenity, this gentleness of this card, this real peacefulness. And I like that there's this cabin in the background that's glowing. It seems very warm and very inviting. So I feel like the personality of this deck is warm and inviting, but also very spiritual and very wise. All right, so that has been my deck interview. So again, this is the Tarot for the Great Outdoors by J.Q. Gordon and illustrations by Sharisse Steber. And I'll put all the info just down below this video. So if you want to purchase this deck or you want to learn more about it, I'll put all the necessary links just below this video. So let me know in the comment section, what did you think of this deck? Can you see yourself reading with this? And I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy tarot reading.